In the 5
Hey YouTubers, it's Nuke again, and we have arrived at the pinnacle of the Incruit OSL 2008 season. This is the last series of games that will decide who walks out of this a champion. This is a pretty interesting matchup, to say the least. Fantasy, Royal Rotor. If he wins this, he will have won his first OSL, which is just crazy. You almost never see that. Of course, he has a lot of great people to train with and a great coach. I love UUV, the great retired Terran player, has taken him under his wing and trained him to be the champion. It's working out pretty damn well so far, I have to say. And Stork, one of the best PvT players in the world, has been to so many tournament finals, is hungry to finally get a gold. A lot of people make fun of him for getting silver, but you know what? Silver's pretty damn good. I see a lot of people make fun of him for that, but he has maybe more silvers than any other player. I'd have to look that up to clarify that, but he's a great player, great PvT, and he's been training very hard for this. I read an interview with him. He said he's not going to take fantasy lightly at all. A lot of people have been saying that fantasy is not really up to Stork's level of play, but Stork is not going to go into this complacent. He is trained very hard. Probably has a lot of great strategies in mind to beat him on all these different maps. The first map is going to be on Chupung-Ryeong. Alright, I have to get some shout-outs out here. I have over 90 subscribers now, which is pretty damn awesome, I have to say. I'm going to give some shout-outs right now. Shout-outs to Spain, Norway, Sweden, Australia. Apparently I'm really popular in Australia. Romania, Canada, Germany. Ich spreche kleines Deutsch. Sehr kleinisch. And all across the USA. And actually, the great performance poet Alvin Lau is a subscriber. He was on Def Jam, so awesome. I love you all. Group hug. Okay, I have my little advice sheet here. I'm going to give advice to the players right now as they're warming up. Even though this is in the past, I know they can hear me through the power of telepathy. My advice to fantasy: to win the OSL, okay? This is my advice to fantasy. Cheese. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese, just up and down, left, right, cheddar, Gouda, whatever you got. Just throw it at him. Yeah, at least the first two games. Fantasy has to cheese to get through this. I mean, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but this is... I don't think he's ever been under this tremendous amount of pressure before. I mean, finals is pressure enough, and for a Royal Rotor, it's just... can almost crush your spirit going into this. He's probably just shaking in his boots right now. But yeah, cheese. At least the first two games. Throw Stork off. Get Stork losing his confidence, because when Stork loses his confidence, he does not play up to his usual great self. I think that's been shown in other finals of past. See, look at this crowd. Great crowd. I'd love to get a crowd like that for a game here. I'd definitely go. But anyways, that's my advice to fantasy. Just a lot of proxy barracks. Get some proxy factories out maybe. Float stuff over. Just do whatever you need to throw Stork off. And my advice to Stork to win. This is my advice to Stork. First of all, look for cheese. And look for any kind of interesting strategies, because you know that I Love UUV has probably given fantasy plenty of strategies for this series of games. He's probably going to stick to them rigidly too, because he wants to win very badly. So my advice to Stork: scout early, scout often, look for cheese. And secondly, tech to arbiters. Fantasy is very good with his mech. He's way more comfortable with his mech than he is with his medic and marines. Of course, you don't really see medic and marines in TVP very much, but it certainly is an option. So, especially in some kind of an early rush, so he's not as comfortable with that as he is with his mech. He has shown great mech control. So Stork definitely needs to get to arbiters, get some stasis fields up, get some recalls into the base. Mech is not nearly as mobile as some other types of units, so I'm hoping that Stork will win this. I think he will win this. I think Fantasy will put up more of a fight than people have been saying he will. But I think Stork will come out of this. Maybe 3-1. 3-1, 3 wins, 1 loss to Fantasy. We'll see. It looks like we're getting ready to start here. This is on Chupung-Ryeong. I think I mentioned that already, but whatever. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I am jonesing for this match. Okay. There's the massive crowd cheering on their favorite player. Wish you could tell who they're cheering on, but here we go. Let's get our colors. Up here at the 2 o'clock position in blue, we have Fantasy. He is the Terran player. Let's see how he looks. He actually looks pretty darn good, I have to say. He isn't shaking in his boots like, uh-oh. Down here in orange at the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock position is Stork, and he's sending out a probe. So Stork might be thinking about doing some cheese. This is, I wouldn't have expected this from him. I would have expected him to go standard gameplay, and because I think his standard gameplay is probably better than Fantasy's. And we'll see what he does with this probe. If he's going to go for some kind of proxy to the left side of Fantasy's base, I think that's what he's going for here. He's probably going to have to go a little further out. Yeah, very great hiding place there. People, when they scout to the side of the bases, usually only go out a little bit. Not enough to see that, probably.